I can remember, I have always been a creative kid. When I was 5, I told my mom that I wanted to be in musical theater, and after that, nothing could stop me. I competed in Bollywood dance, I wrote music, I had a band, I made my own clothing. I went to school with duct tape over my mouth to raise money for clean drinking water in Africa. Everything I did was based in passion, and I had this saying, if you feel it, nobody can take it away from you. I felt like the world was my oyster and nothing could stop me. Then high school hit. We all remember something about those days. For me, as an arts kid thrust into a regular high school, it affected me heavily. Suddenly, all the things that made me cool and unique and special were uncool, lame, weird, and strange. I was targeted for my interests, and I was also targeted racially. I was going through this internal dilemma to understand what box I could fit into as a mixed race person, and I always just wanted to belong. At that time, I felt like I had a key decision to make: fit in and have friends, or be different and be ostracized for 4 years. And I chose to fit in because this was my opportunity to belong to something. I put everything to the side and I focused on things that I deemed more socially acceptable, like student council or English class. And I became that. I figured as much. The things that I like wouldn't make me any money. And if I wanted to be competitive in a business-minded world, I had to excel in math, science, English, and that's it. When I went to UofT for political science and literature, I found that I could barely muster the excitement that some of my peers had. No matter how hard I tried, it never fit, and I never felt good enough because I forced myself into a lane that was never really meant for me. It wasn't until I participated in orientation week that I realized that I could take something from an idea and then pitch it and create it. The merch, the parties, the parade float, the food, everything. And then it hit me. That creative spark was ignited again, and I wanted more, and I felt the world open up again. The only thing holding me back now was me. My story now focused on how I wasted so many years and I wasn't creative. I couldn't compete with the other people who had never taken a break. My creativity in my head wasn't good enough. And it wasn't until I heard a song this year with a line that goes, I started selling my tears, I started telling my fears, that it clicked. These poems, stories, music, events that I was already creating inside of my head were part of what makes me special. So when I created Gradience, which stands for the gradience of color and the radiance of all, it really is to celebrate the spirit of all creators and to uplift them. And it has another meaning as well, which is racial. I always felt like I needed to fit into a box, but the box was just inside of my head. By virtue of being alive and by being a person, I belong, and there are no questions to it. So I take that mentality forward with me as I create and I co-create with others to focus on celebrating the community. Because when you shine positivity on others, you'll be surprised what blooms right in front of your eyes.